Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Charlotte Katakuri. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP12 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which tends to be near and dear to my heart. I love yellow decks, I love anything Big Mom Pirate related, and if you guys know me, yellow, life manipulation, in One Piece TCG is kind of what my go-to is. Now, with that being said, Katakuri in a nutshell kind of hasn't changed all too much. We did gain access to the brand new 6-cost Kuma that came out in OP12, which changes this deck drastically, allowing it to self-sustain a lot more efficiently, and in the current metagame where you see decks like Rayleigh running around, being able to heal up and keep yourself on board or alive is just really, really good in a matchup like this, along with Zoro. Now, arguably, Zoro loves to attack into your characters, therefore you don't have bodies on board. In a deck like this, when you're playing yellow, you have access to Kikinojo and Hawkins, which Zoro doesn't necessarily want to attack into. When he does, there's a negative effect that happens to him. Kikinojo heals you, in turn gives you more options for triggers, so with Nami's here and your Brulees on board for blockers, it's really good. Hawkins, on the other hand, you manipulate life, allowing him to attack into this, burns a life from him, and then at the end of the day, you have access to the 8-cost Eustace Kid, which also burns life on top of the 10-cost Big Mom. Now, the matchup in itself isn't necessarily too hard to deal with. As long as you guys can see your 4-drop Kikinojos or Hawkins, you can typically draw into your late game because they allow you to do so by healing you up, allowing you to get to that point. Zoro has a hard time into decks that enable healing. Now, with that being said, there are other decks in the current metagame that are still problematic. Jewelry Bonnie, not necessarily, because we have access to Life Burn, which is really good. Now, besides that, there are some other meta decks here that which are problematic, and that is Shanks, of course. Shanks is very, very strong here still, but Katakuri can still get that W if you guys win that die roll and you're able to see the pieces you are needing to see. Outside of these matchups here, we're going to be diving into a bunch of games today. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy it. In today's matchups, we're going to probably play maybe like 6 games, give or take, somewhere around like an hour long as it typically is. Now, with that being said, grab your popcorn, let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Katakuri playing into playing into Blue Yellow Nami. I was so confused for a second. In any case, this matchup is kind of difficult, especially when we both utilize Life Burn and Life Healing. The downside to this matchup for Nami is the fact that we always swing 7 with Katakuri by attaching Dawn, so she still has to pitch 2 cards to guard out, which is kind of nice. I'll guard here. Normally I don't like to guard the first swing, but I also like to look at my my top deck to see what we got going on here. And I didn't want her to draw an extra card just yet. Unfortunately though, we do have Kikinojo in hand, so it does make this a little bit difficult. So we're going to swing 5 just for her to pitch a card or take a damage here, then we'll just go ahead and play Kikinojo on board. Regardless, she goes in the 5 Dawn, so this will make her curve a little awkward if she has to play down a Nojiko to pop this, and then she has 3 Dawn left over to attach, or Nojiko Teach, but we'll see. Goes 6. This time is fine, because I'm not going to give her 2 cards for this one, or 0-cost event. What do we get? Something good, I hope, to be fair. Okay, that'll work out. So we'll play down Brule. And then Nami gets the draw. Ideally for 4 Dawn, what do you want to do here? Hawkins, okay. That's not bad, to be fair. I don't think I've played a Nami list where I want to utilize Hawkins over at Kikinojo in my deck, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's pretty good right now, especially with Zoro running around, so maybe that's why. But we'll go 8k lead. We get a Kawamatsu, and she takes the hit here. Okay. So Kikinojo cannot swing unless I attach Dawn, but if we attach Dawn, we cannot establish another body on board here. And then we're just left up with 3 Dawn here. So we're going to play this down and pass. We already got a card out of hand, we already got a damage in, so we'll take that. Now she has to deal with 2 Kikinojos on board on 7 Dawn, which she did not have Gravity Blade, which is good for us, right? Because she did have it, she would have played it, I would imagine. I'm gonna go 5. We're gonna have to take one of these hits and then guard out the other, or we can give him the Nami, which is good for us too. Because Nami's not killing anything on board that's relevant. We can't pop the Nico Robin, and I don't want to get rid of the Hawkins either. And now we can heal again with the Kuma. Let's run into... Let's get rid of the Hawkins this turn, actually. Let's go 7 here first. Or at least try to get rid of the Hawkins. Because Kuma can recoup the life if we're able to get rid of it. She did have a Gravity Blade. Unless she just top deck that. Otherwise, I don't see why you wouldn't play Gravity to remove both bodies on board. It's kind of nutty. Sure, leave that on top. She takes the damage here. I'll go 6 here. And then we'll play Kuma. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and just say she top decked it, right? It just doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't just remove both, because you already had a body on board and you can go 5 to lead, remove both bodies here. I think that's a little bit more beneficial to just establish the Nico Robin and life burn me, you know? But I'm not too sure what her game plan is. Maybe she wanted to get the rip to play down like a Eustace Kid here. Because she can play Kid, attach Dawn, swing 6, do the burn thing, or then do the discard at the end of the turn with the Kid effect. Okay, going 5. What's your next move? Still going 6, we'll take this one. We get a Hawkins. Not too bad. I don't mind triggering this. Sure. Oh, I'm glad we did, actually. Because that would have sucked to draw into both kids back to back, I think, with no counter. Kikinojo, Momonosuke. So she's going to heal, I imagine. Maybe she'll put the Kikinojo on top, thinking we have the Big Mom for the following turn, which, you know, is smart, because that way we can just burn the Kikinojo instead of getting rid of a card. Okay, never mind, she goes to the bottom. Interesting. Regardless, we're still going to burn it anyway. Because that's a body we don't have to deal with here. We already all swing for over 6k, other than our leader. So, we're going to try to get cards out of hand first before we go face. Yep. Sure. Okay, cool. So now we have to swing 5 with Katakuri, right? We have to do that because we need to establish the Big Mom here. Regardless if she has a, what do you call the thing? A Red Rock. Now, our other option is we play Zeus to pop that and then play Eustace Kid to burn a life. Unfortunately, if we do that and she plays Kid down on her following turn, we go to 0, and then she swings for 7 with no counter in hand, then we lose game. So we can't do it like that. She takes the hit. Interesting. I guess she was worried about us popping the Momonosuke with Kuma there. Sure, we'll play Big Mom, heal life. Trash, pass turn. I'm not too sure why that was the play that she decided to make, but we'll take it. Because I think I would have still guarded there, even though I swung 5. She should have blocked that with Momonosuke. But she has enough cards in hand to guard out the Kuma swing, unless I, you know, stack Dawn onto it. And, good game? Can we... Okay, never mind. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you guys with another matchup here, rapid fire, with Katakuri playing into Kuzan. Unfortunately, he won the die roll, which he decided to go second, and, you know, he needs to go second, so there's that. Now, going first in this matchup isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we don't have anything that we play on, you know, Dawn 1. So we're not running the 7-cost Big Mom here, and we are not running... what's the other one? There's one more card that I typically like running in Katakuri. I forget off the top of my head. Anyway, we're not running the 7-cost Mom. So, we want to go second, but arguably we should still be fine here in a matchup with Kuzan. I was hoping to draw a Banish Nami, but we didn't get that off the top deck. And unfortunately, our whole hand is nothing but 2k counters, so this might end tragically. Although Kuzan doesn't play anything on board until 8 Dawn, basically, So he'll go from 6 Dawn, which will be either a Jozu or a Kuzan if he has it, right? And then it'll go into a Garp into something else. I have all of the counter for the late game, unless he decides to putting me early. Then we could be in a problem. Let's force this blocker real quick, if possible. Okay, cool. I guess I'll leave Zeus on top. Again, we have nothing but 2Ks now. He just burns it. Okay, fair. I mean, perhaps that was the good thing to do. I don't know. I mean, he's got a whole book in hands. That's one less card he gets to keep. Suru also allows him to draw 2, so. But we'll take the trade. We'll go down to 3 here. 3, 4, 5. We'll go to 7 Dawn next turn. So next turn we're going to Kuma and then swing for 7. He's going to freeze the Onami, I'd imagine. Throws away Sakazuki. That feels bad. Yep. Draws free card. We get a Brule. Yeah, okay. So we're going to swing first. Go 7k lead. This should get the block plus a 2k counter. There's no reason to go to 2 life here. Yep. What do we get? Sengoku and a Borsalino. Okay, never mind. Your boy's bricked up over there. We'll toss the Brule, we'll heal up and pass turn. So now he's on 8 Dawn. He could establish Garp into another Kuzan. Okay, or he's just going to Red Rock. Alright, so that's 5 cards left in hand here. 2 Dawn open. Swings 5. No? Swings 6? No, swings 5. Okay, sure. We'll go ahead and give you a... I guess we'll give you a Brule. I don't like to give him information on our Capones or our Zeuses just yet. That's 9. We'll play this. 1 Dawn open for a Ice Block, which we can force here. Because we have enough Dawn to swing with Kikunojo, Katakuri, and then establish another Kuma here. And I imagine he doesn't want to Red Rocket if he did have it the following turn. I think he still wants to establish 2 bodies. But I could be wrong. He doesn't have much going on for him right now, and he definitely does need to see more cards. And I think throwing away the Sengoku earlier might have been a problem. Because if he kept the Sengoku, he got to get 3 cards out of that, instead of pitching Sengoku plus Borsalino to protect his Borsalino on board, you know what I mean? Because he could have Red Rocked into a Sengoku, which is pretty good. We'll keep that on top. That is a Banish Nami, which doesn't get value here because you can't really pop the Borsalino. We'll do this. We'll heal up again. So the top card we don't know. The next one we do know it's a Banish Nami. Kuzan's now at 1 life, 10 Dawn. We still haven't seen a Garp combination yet. Goes 5 here. That's fine. I mean, we still have an army of 2Ks, which is great. Goes 9 into lead. Okay, leader, sure. There's the pudding. Garp. We know he has the Aramaki. Yep. Okay. So he had 2 Garps in hand and an Aramaki there, which is good information. Play the kid, we'll burn the life. We'll force him to give me the ice blocks. That's the second Sengoku that we've seen, by the way. Let's go 7 lead. So now we can do 7, 7, and 7. He still guards for this. Okay. No problem. We'll leave that on top. There's no reason to put it on the bottom, you know? Would you like to ice block here? Okay. What do we throw away? Another Sakazuki. Okay, so that's 2 of those. We go 7 again. Get the guard. Yep. That's my bad. I don't know why we attacked there with Kuma. That's my fault. But that's okay. I will trash this. I don't see myself playing the 1-drop pudding, but it's okay. Hey, there's a pudding. There's a big mom. We'll take that. Unfortunately, though, we had a whole hand of counter, and he should be able to clear my board now. He's got 6 Dawn open. He should be able to clear them. Because Aramaki can do the thing, right? You can do Aramaki, effect, bottom deck the pudding, and then go heavy into the Eustace Kid. Yep, so that's what he's going to do. Unless he decides to heal me here. Trashes Gravity Blade, draws a new card. 11. If he goes 11k, we can counter out here. Okay, he attached 2 more. Never mind. So that's 13. That's pretty much my whole hand here. Which he still has 4 Dawn open to swing into it anyway. So we'll let it go. I want to keep at least one of these bodies on board here. Just one. Which I think we can do that. And regardless, they'll heal me here, so that's not really an issue. I'm going to go 7 into 9, or 9 into 7. Alright, Kuma. 3 Dawn left. Garp can swing again into 9k. I think we should guard this here. Just to force him to Dawn up and do it again. Because he's going to be able to clear one of these bodies regardless, right? I mean, I guess he can potentially clear both, but if he tries to clear both, he doesn't have any Dawn up for the ice block, assuming he has one in hand. Because he'll probably Dawn Garp here. They go to 9 to swing into Kuma again. Which then at that point he can have it. And then if he wants to attach 2 Dawn to Kuzan and swing in the Kikinojo, okay, never mind. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll take that. I did not expect him to do that. But I guess that's math, right? 7-7, we'll give you a Kuma. Get a Nami. I cannot pop this because, you know, the ability. I don't necessarily have to go for game here. I don't think. He's only hitting me, what, 4 times next turn? If he wants to Dawn up the pudding, he's going to forego the ice blocks. So I think we're fine with playing it like we're about to do here. So I want to leave up 6 Dawn for the Kuma to drop out the Nami from hand to heal another life here. Which should be pretty good. So that means we have 4 Dawn to play around with here. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll pitch this, we'll heal, we're at 5 now. And then I guess we can just go 8. We don't need to go 9. Because that means we go, what, 8-8? That's math, right? No, sorry. We're 8-9, my bad, my bad. That's fine. Yep. Sure. And then this should get the blocker on board. What we got? Hey, why not? Cool. Potentially he still has 5 swings, right? But pudding is not going to be able to end the game here. I guess you can go 8-8-8. And then those all should land, which would put me at 2 life. And then maybe, if he wants to math it out, maybe. But we know one of our top decks here are going to be Nami. We have the Banished Nami and the regular Nami here, so it's not possible. So we get a free life here off the Kuma. He's going to go 5. That's another free damage. There's a Kikinojo. We'll take that. And no, we don't win off the Kikinojo. I think we already had the game anyway. Unless he had another blocker here. You go 7. So there's the Nami. I don't see him swinging with the Aramaki. There's a Veggie, so we won't use Veggie here. And the next life should be the Banished Nami. Kuzan is going to freeze the Kuma. Trashes, draws. Yep. 0 cost event. Alright. Well, it's been fun. A good game. We'll just go 10k. 689. Yeah, no. We'll go 10k. We'll go 10k. We should be able to end the game here. Because, I mean, technically he could still guard out if those are all 2Ks. Okay, see, well played. And we had a 0 cost life. That's crazy. This is a very hard matchup, I think. Considering they have access to the 5 cost smoker with the Shigi, and then they have the 2 cost blocker, in which can protect their slash units. This is a very challenging matchup for Katakuri. Allowing them to get 1 smoker on board with protection is just, it's tragic enough. So, I decided to go first here. This way we can take away the curve and make it a little bit awkward for them. Like again, for us, we don't have anything we want to play down on, like, on 5 and 7 Dawn and 9 Dawn in this deck list. Which we could add, we could adjust, but I think going second is still arguably really, really good, considering our top end with the Kuma, the Big Mom, and the 8 cost Eustace Kid. I think that's much better, so. But in any case, we get a blocker down, or not a blocker, sorry, we get a banner swing down, and we get 2 cards out of hand early game, which puts Smoker back down to 5. They do have a Sanji, which now they can restand 2 and then swing for 7k, or swing for 6 and play down another Searcher. I think if they go 7, okay, they're going to go 7, we'll take the hit, we get a Pudding. And then, for this early turn, we have either we play down the 5-drop Nami, okay, to pop the Sanji, or we play the Zeus to take a life to pop the Sanji. This gives us more Dawn. So, and we get a kid off that, which is not bad. Now we can search here with the Pudding, or we can attach 2 and swing on Onami to go 5 and then go for 7. I'd rather do the search. We'll take a 2k. Actually, we'll take the Zeus here. The Zeus is better. Okay. Unfortunately, though, nah, it's better. It's better to do this. I want to see the top deck here. What do we got? See? I'm glad. Put it on bottom. We could have just messed up. Because then we might have taken the next hit, not knowing, you know? That would have been crazy. So I also got to remember that this deck does play Hody Jones, so that's still problematic, especially when they're able to go for game, and they can't because we have a 0 cost event. That's a Mihawk. Mihawk is spooky. It's a big body in which I can't really get around. I can't do anything about it besides rip life. So, thankfully, we have the Kumas here. We have ways to self-sustain in this matchup here. We'll guard out. 5 Dawn, Cavendish Smoker. Nope, okay. Jewelry Bonnie, we'll take that. We're on 7. We're going to swing 7. We're going to establish a Kuma. We'll leave that on top. Should be an easy block. Yep. Give me a 2k. Thank you. 5 cards left in hand. We'll play down a Kuma. I'll pitch the Pudding. That either gives my opponent some information, or I think that was a good pitch overall. Because it was either that or get rid of the 8 cost Eustace Kid. And I think having a kid is a little bit more beneficial to us because we can play that down the following turn. Right? Because we're at... Yeah, we can play it down the next turn, then we can go to the 10 cost Mom. Unfortunately, they did have a Mulgun there, so Kuma does not get to survive, although he does heal us. We're back at 5 life here, with 4 cards in Smoker's hand. 7 lead, we'll take it. There's a Zeus. And then a Hawkins. Okay. So, we only have one thing we can do. We're going to go 7k lead. What we got? A Big Mom. Leave that on top. Yep, we get the block. We'll play down the kid. We'll burn life. And then we'll draw. Okay. Not bad. We'll get rid of the Hawkins. We're getting some 2Ks here, which is really good. Now, we are getting to the point where he's going to want to play Hody Jones. I'd imagine. Because he is running out of cards in hand here. He's got 3 blockers down. Haven't seen a Smoker yet, which is nice. Okay, he's clearing the kid. You know, I think I can afford the guard out here. Because I think we need to keep the kid on board. This gives us another body that we can swing with next turn. So we're going to do the thing. It feels really bad. It has a lot of counter, but still. Because what, he attaches that on Bonnie, or then he only has one blocker up? There's no way he does. Okay, alright, never mind. We'll give you another 2k counter. He's here to stay. So there's a Big Mom, and then our next top deck, or sorry, top life is another Big Mom, unfortunately. So we either don't play Big Mom, or we try to clear some bodies on board here. Because we have the bodies here to commit. So let's try that. Let's go into this. Because regardless, I'm going to get the blocker here. Or he's going to counter out. Okay. Sure. We'll go 5 lead. Can I have the Rosie? Gives me another 2k. Alright, we'll drop the Big Mom. So, the top life, we don't know what that is. The next one is a 10 cost Mom, and then the last life is a 0 cost event. Okay, so the second from the bottom and the third from the bottom we have no information on. And then the top one, of course. And that should be enough to win the game here, I think. There's a Hody. Or maybe not. 3 Dawn open, can restand 2, right? I guess he could run into the Big Mom if he wants to, because we only have 1 card in hand here. So he either does Mihawk and Hody to clear the kid on board and the Big Mom, which is still really good for him. And that still will leave up 2 blockers for him. This might be an awkward finish of a game, definitely. Yep. Super risky though. Lucky. Yep. You got it. Goes 5. Gives me a card. No? Okay, alright. You can have that too. Interesting. 0 cost event. So how do we win now? We have no bodies on board here, no rush units. I mean, we're at 5 life and we know we have a safety cushion, so he's got 2 cards in hand here. I think we're safe to just force cards. I don't have to play the other 10 cost Mom, I don't think. Especially when he has 2 blockers on board, we need to remove these, if possible. So we go 7, and he either gives me both 2Ks or both cards in hand, and then I can just don up our other characters and go for it. That'll at least get the Bonnie and the Rosinante off the board. Okay, so we get that one. There's nothing else we can really do other than just do it. Just go face, right? It's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll go 6 with Pudding and then go 7 with Zeus. That's math, right? We have 9 left? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully we get cards here. And then the 7 can potentially get the Bonnie blocker. Okay, another 2k. So we had 3 Tashigis in hand. And this will get Bonnie plus a 2k maybe? Or just Bonnie in general. Let's go, boys. Okay, so he had the brick in hand, which was the... what do you call it? The event that he searched out with the Virgo, if I remember correctly. 5, you got it. You use the Perona. I'm not going to guard it. You just go 2. You got this. I mean, that would be kind of funny, but yeah, no, you can have it. Can you please hit me? Let me have some cards. Okay, cool. We'll take that. We do get a Pudding Search, which arguably isn't the best, but we can make do here. 5. Let's play the Nami here, and we'll get rid of the 0 cost event. We'll pop the Chopper blocker. That gives us 5 Dawn left, which he's got 1 card in hand. So I think we can attempt to go for the Mihawk. There's a Brûlée. Now remember, he has the event in hand. So they should get the event. There's the Big Mom. And then Mihawk gets to live another day, but he only has one blocker on board. Once he gives me the event, he only has the top deck. So, yep. Goes 11 to 9, and we'll pass. And there's no way he can go for game. I guess if he got another Hody there, he could attempt to go for game, but we have the 0 cost in life, so we're not really worried about that. Yep. So he's going to clear Nami instead. You're cool. Restands 2 Dawn. And I'm guessing we're not going to get any cards here. Yep. You know what? Actually, we'll give you a 2K. This will force him to swing that with Hody Jones or Leader, because I don't see him swinging with Mihawk. Yep, you got it. Thank you. There's a Big Mom. And then we get a Brûlée. Okay. We're still fine. We're still okay. What we got in trash here? It's 2 Zeuses, 3 Zeuses, 1 Brûlée here. I'm not really getting anything off the pudding search, to be fair. I think we can search out another blocker in the Brûlée, and that's about it. So we're going to go 8. This will get the Mihawk. There's a Kikinojo. I totally forgot about that. Search out. We'll take the Big Mom. I wish we can get the Kuma, but we can't. 3 Moms in hand. We'll play down a blocker. We'll pass. That Mihawk really gave me a lot of trouble, to be fair. Just because we didn't have a way of removing it there. We're not running Katakuri strictly for the reasoning that there's so much anti-removal when it comes to green decks right now. It's very hard to justify that in place of Eustace Kid, you know? Eustace Kid gets a guaranteed benefit when you play him on board. Unless you're playing against Blackbeard, obviously, but you know what I mean. Whereas the Kid, you gotta play around the Tashigi, you gotta play around any other anti-removal when it comes to other decks. But he does have a home in an L, which makes sense, so. And good game, bud. Well played. We may end up playing one more game after this one. We're getting close to the hour mark already. In which I try to keep my games around there. I think Emu was like an hour 45-ish, I think. And then with the editing, I was able to chop that down. But these games go kind of quickly today, which is really, really nice. You know, there isn't a whole lot of Katakuri playing against a Thinker deck or like a, you know what I mean, like a deck that requires a lot more time. You know, I've played against Zoro, we haven't seen a Rayleigh today, which is fine. No Shanks, which is okay. So no aggro reds, right? Everything else has been relevant, but rather quick, which is kind of nice. I thought the Kuzan would have been a lot more challenging, but we don't really... I don't think we really struggle into that matchup, to be fair. I think we can commit, especially when we're able to just rip and burn life. The same thing with this one here. I say that, but Zoro still might cook me, so we'll see. We do have double Hawkins in hand, which is really good. I won't play this. I don't feel it's worth it. I think he won't go 5 with Perona. If he does, we'll just give him the Nami. Okay, he plays another one. Cavendish, maybe? Yep, there's Cavi. Unfortunate. Well, we do have the answer for the Cavendish, which is good. Never mind. I lied. We don't have the answer for Cavendish. This card is very problematic to deal with. So, let's force the block. Or he can burn a life. I'll take that. What we got here? Akuma, leave it on top. Cool. I mean, now we have the answer for Cavendish. Technically, he could play 5 for Cavi, and then restand 2, and play down another one of those blockers there, to be able to protect the Cavendish from KO effects. I'd imagine he wants to swing 5 first, if that's what he's going to do, in case we get off a, you know, a Nami off a life. Right? Right, Zoro? That's what you want to do? This card is so good. Such a good card. Plays Tashigi instead. Okay, that makes it a little awkward for me, to be fair. We'll take this hit. Actually, you know what? We'll guard out. We'll give you a 0 cost and a Basil. There's another Kikinojo. We're on 6 Dawn. He's still at 5 life too, which is really, really rough. Because now it comes down to either we establish a Kuma, right? We play Kuma, we pitch a Kikinojo. Okay. Which might arguably be better here. Or we just go 7 face with Katakuri. And then we Nami the Tashigi and throw away a Kikinojo. I feel like the Kuma was better, personally. Because now we have to deal with either the Tashigi and Cavendish next turn, or we play Nami down to pop the Tashigi, which doesn't seem really good, right? Yeah, never mind. I think it's better to play down Kikinojo or Hawkins now at this point. Because otherwise we just went 5, and then he would have probably guarded out, and then we would have played down Akuma. Right? We pitch a Kikinojo to heal life. Because now it's awkward, because we play down the Hawkins, we have 1 Dawn left. But I still think it's better here, just because we have another body on board that he has to interact with here. Because he's probably going to play Cavendish, yes? Because he's got Tashigi on board to protect it. If he does rest, it'll be the Onami here. I don't think he's going to rest the Hawkins to attack into that. Which is fine, because that gives us a free swing. And then we can establish either double Kikinojo next turn, or we can do a Kuma into a big swing with Katakuri. So he's going to pop the Nami. Then he's going to swing into me, which will draw another Kuma off of life. Which isn't too bad. And all we have to do is heal once or twice in the game, and then just survive. Because we don't really have to go face super aggressive when we have options to burn life and then out sustain him. Go ahead. 3 down open though. So I mean, I guess he could play down another blocker and a Perona searcher. Yep, just a blocker. So we get a Big Mom on the draw, and we have the Kuma off of life here. I think we're chilling, boys. Let's go 5 here first. Just get this out of the way. We're going to double establish Kikinojos. We're going to swing 5. Just hear me out. I know Kikinojo isn't live. I understand that. I get it. We do get a Cabby, though. That's pretty good. Anyway, I know she's not live right now, so we're not going to be able to heal. But next turn, we are guaranteed to be able to heal because we have the Big Mom. So we can do a damage, and then everything here on board is ready to go. Now, of course, Zoro can rest both and then KO both of them in this turn, and that's okay. That's fine. Not really, I hope he doesn't, but you know what I mean. Because you can play the Dead Man's Game to double rest. Cool. Never mind. So what do you do at this point here? You got 5 Dawn left? Technically, you're only going to clear one of these then, unless you're going to Dawn up the Tashigi. Yeah, he can only clear one of these, which is fine. So we don't get the heal off one. Because he has to go to the face here. My card is really good too. There goes 10k. We're taking the hit. We're getting the Zeus. Okay. If only, man. If only. That card was like one more on the top deck. We play Kuma or Big Mom. We just heal it. And then we swing. That'd be pretty good. Alright. Wanna go 6 again? He's gotta start giving me cards. Because if this lands, he goes to 1 life. Right? Guarantee. Or sorry, goes to 2. My bad. 5. So we get another Tashigi there. That's 2 Tashigis that we've seen. We've also seen a Cavendish, which is nice. Takes the hit. Sure. I don't think Zoro plays any triggers that I'm aware of that are relevant. Yeah, that doesn't have trigger to it. So what are you contemplating here? I might be missing one. He could be playing a Punk Gibson or a Spiderweb in the deck. I don't know. To be fair. Okay, cool. We'll play Big Mom. We'll heal up. Burn another Tashigi. So that's 3 of them. And at this point, I don't think there's anything that he can do. Because we have the answers here. We have the Zeus, we have the Nami, the get rid of Tashigi, and the other 2 cost. Which is really good for us. Unfortunately, we have to Zeus the Tashigi, then like Nami the other one. Or vice versa. Because they're green, so. And then hopefully, we have enough Dawn left to win game. Because that's 7 Dawn there. So we swing what? 5, 6, 9, and then 12? I think we'd be alright. There's a Cavi, restands 2. We're going heavy, 11k into what? Kikunojo? You know, I think that's okay. I think we can still win game with just 2 bodies on board here, plus lead. We do have the counter in hand, though. I think it's fine. We can heal up here anyway. Yep. Then we'll take whatever that is. And you know what? That's what you get. Karma. We'll pop this. What did you learn? Told you guys, healing is just so good in this matchup, man. It's so strong. Being able to just do this and self-sustain yourself into another 10 cost Big Mom or Akuma the following turn is just, it's tragic for Zoro. It really be. Tragic. We'll drop a Zeus. We'll pop the blocker. We'll KO this. We'll top deck it. There's a Eustace Kid. Actually, you know what? Let's play Eustace Kid here. We'll burn the life. Yep. We'll go 5, 5, 12. What you got? I think if we didn't get the kid, we would have just donned up and done it that way. But this seems a little bit more clean. Give me those cards. Thank you. And, good game. Yep. Well played. Can we play another? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last game of the day. Then we're going to dive into another deck list after this one. I'm thinking we're either going to play Rayleigh or Zoro for OP12. I'm not too sure. Probably one of those two, give or take. Anyway, we're going to dive into this matchup with Katakuri playing against Yamato. And as I typically say, you take every single hit, if possible, when there's no banish. You're just getting free cards at this point. As long as you're able to see your late game with your Big Moms, your Kumas, you should be golden. We're playing against another deck that relies on doing a lot of damage very quickly, in which healing really helps out. Let's not use this. 0 cost event as well. That sucks, man. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's play down the Nami. Give us Spanish. We'll go 8k lead. I don't care about the Momonosuke on board. They can do a thing next turn. It's fine. Leave that on top. 8 lead. You want to give me cards or take a hit? Which one? Because I'll take either. It's fine. Sure. I mean, that's a good one to banish, too. That's another body we want to deal with. So we're at 5 life here. Or not 5 life, sorry. 5 Dawn. They search with Momonosuke, right? They have 4 left. There's an Izo. I was thinking about Nami, but yeah, Izo's a thing. That's 8k lead. We will be guarding this one, of course. And that's their whole turn, because now they can don up the Izo for a blocker, which is kind of irrelevant to me, so I'm not really worried about that. Yep. There's Akuma. And you know what? I think now is time. We'll just go 5 lead, we'll establish Akuma on board. They took the first hit, so I'd imagine they'd guard this one. Probably with hand instead of with the blocker. Okay, we get a Momonosuke for that. We'll play Kuma. We'll trash 0 cost event, heal life. Now remember, one of the cards in our top deck here, or top life, is Onami. The top one we don't know, so the second one from the top is the Onami, which we have access to popping something on board. Which, it looks like this might be a Wanu Yamato, so perhaps we can pop like Momonosuke blocker. if we can get it at the right time. Okay, so there goes our Nami. Goes 5. Sure, actually. We'll take that. Hey, Kikinojo, and then we have a Nami here. We'll pop the Izo instead. 4 Dawn open. What do? We search, or do we establish a body? Okay, Kikinojo. That's fine. So Yamato's got 4 cards in hand here. We have no blockers right now. We do have a whole lot of counter, which is nice. And I'm thinking about establishing another Kikinojo here. Which might be crazy. Because we can use the 0-cost event thrower the Kikinojo and save the Big Mom for the following turn. But you know what? Let's be a little aggressive. Let's go 8 lead. What do you want to do? They take this, they go to 2, or they give me 2 2Ks. Because then they still have to deal with 2 big swings. And potentially they could get a Onami off life to pop something. Okay, alright. You know what? Let's swing here. We have 5. Yeah, this is fine. We'll go 8, and then we'll go 7 with Kikinojo. Top. We'll leave that on top. The same concept. They go to 1 life, or they give me 2 2Ks. Yep. Cool. Down to 3 cards. I'm assuming they picked up one of those 2Ks off a life, which had to have been the Mihawk, unless they decided just to take the hit anyway from the Kuma. So we're going to go 7 here. Let's push Yamato to 1. Yep. So they didn't have the counter at all. We'll establish this, and we'll pass turn. So even if they play Hody here, right, we're still safe. Because we know the next one is a Hawkins, so that's a easy 1K counter. And then we can use a 0-cost event to pitch away the Big Mom to get 3K plus the other 2Ks we have in hand. So I think we're chilling regardless of what they do here. They need to swing heavy with Leader to at least rip both of these lives away before they do anything else here. I think that has to be the play. Okay, Momonosuke. So Leader is up to 6K. They attached 2. Alright. That's fine. We'll take that. There's a Hawkins. Let's not trigger this. I know it's crazy, but we get the counter, right? Hypothetically speaking, we trigger it, and then we draw into like Big Mom or like Eustace Kid. You know what I mean? And that's not ideal. We don't want that. At least we have a guaranteed 1K counter with the Hawkins in this regard. We go 7 lead, or 8 lead, sorry. That's Momonosuke, my bad. We'll give you the 0-cost, we'll pitch the Big Mom. Because we need the counter here. Right? Don't we? Is that math? That's math. That's fine. There's that. So we have 2 Dawn left for the Doji. So that'll swing 5 on me, and then the Kikinojo will swing for 7. So easy 1K with the Kuma. There you go. And then unfortunately we gotta give 2 2Ks here. So regardless of how we broke it, I think we had to give 2 cards. So there's that. Well played. Round 2? Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive back into the end of the deck list. I'll see you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the deck list today, in which today we played around with Charlotte, Katakuri, and OP12. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, for me, it's a lot of fun anytime I pick up a Big Mom deck list, so I thoroughly had a good time. Now, there are going to be some things here when it comes to Katakuri that we're going to gain access to in PRB2 and OP13. Unfortunately, the leaks that we've seen for OP13 have been typically purple cards. So I do think that the new the new Katakuri leader will probably be the go-to when it comes to Big Mom Pirates, depending on the support that this deck keeps getting. We have seen a couple things that are coming out, which is kind of nice. Outside of that, I haven't seen much support when it comes to yellow Big Mom Pirates from OP13 and PRB2, which leaves this to kind of just sit here until good yellow stuff comes out overall, such as things like, the Kuma. Now, do I think this deck might get support in the future? Possibly. But currently, as it's looking, purple Big Mom Pirates will probably be the new thing. Unfortunately, I will be missing, and I'm sure you guys will be as well, the 10 cost Big Mom. So there's that. But outside of that, in OP12, this leader is still pretty darn good. He has some pretty good matchups in the metagame. Into aggro matchups, into Zoro, I think he does pretty well. Unfortunately, in OP13, I don't think I've seen a single Katakuri top or do well at all in any of the regional events. Not that he's not played, it's just that everybody else and their brother is running Emu, or Ace, or Roger. So unfortunately, Katakuri might get overshadowed, which it be what it be. With that being said though, he's still a deck that I would definitely pick up and play if you're looking to play a yellow deck in this current format. Or, if not, the only yellow option outside of this, you have many of course, but if you're talking strictly yellow decks, would be a Nell, or Vegapunk, or Eustace Kid, or Kagera. There's so many. Yellow has a lot of very valuable cards right now, especially if you guys are looking forward to like using triggers or like life gain. Every yellow deck can do it very well, so pick and choose. Now outside of that, this has been Pawseplays. I did have a lot of fun today. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. Remember to hit that like button on these videos so we get these things floating around. And I will catch you guys in the very next one. I will be playing either Rayleigh or Zoro, Green Zoro. Well, probably one of those two in the next upcoming video. Stay safe out there. I will catch you guys later. I'm gonna head out.